This is Contra Dancing with the Princeton Country Dancers.
So, swing your neck. Face back in, gentlemen, left hand. Go once and a half. Find your partner swing. All face in, circle. Left hand in, star left back. Take your partner, promenade. Ladies, chain right back.
Thank you for joining us today with talking about the Princeton Country Dancers, Contra Dancing. And we have two guests. Larry, can you introduce yourself?
My name's Larry Koplik, and I've been dancing, contra dancing that is, for over 30 years. It's a wonderful, wonderful kind of dancing, and I just would promote it to anyone who wants to experience joy and fun and music.
Where do you do this?
We do this currently at the Suzanne Patterson Center, which is the senior center in Princeton, right behind the old Borough Hall. And we dance every Wednesday night and fourth Saturdays as well.
And our other guest is Avery. Avery, can you tell us who you are and how you got involved?
Yeah, I'm Avery Peterman. I've been contra dancing for a little over 3 years now. I have background in classical ballet. I took about 13 years of that. And I've really enjoyed contra dance as a way for me to just release and express myself as well as socialize with other people.
How many people do this?
Well, we have, on a typical Wednesday night, we get about 45 or 50 people. For a more special event, we have up to maybe even 100 people. We have our database of email addresses is probably several hundred people. So it's different people come on a different night. There's some people who pretty much come every week, but it's a huge community of people who do this.
So where do they come from? When you say they're a huge community of people, where do they come?
Our dance attracts people from up to an hour drive away, I think. In New Jersey, there are other contra dances. There's one up in northern New Jersey, and then there's one, in Philadelphia that people go to, and there are a couple in New York City. There are contra dances in every state in the union, but Princeton, attracts people from, a radius of about, 30 to 60 minutes.
How did you get, now how long have you been doing this? You said about 3 years?
About 3 years, yeah.
And from looking at the two of you, it looks like it attracts a wide range of people.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
You can see from the video clip that started the program, you can see I'm actually dancing with, I think she was probably 7 years old or 10 years old, I'm not sure which. Contra dancing it's very easy, accessible dancing. That's why I do it. I can't do any other kind of dancing. I don't do steps. But contra dancing is figures. It's just walking. We say that if you can walk and count to 8, you can contra dance. And that's really a true statement.
What exactly is contra dancing? I had never heard of it, frankly, before doing this show.
Well, it's interesting. It is a traditional American folk dance, which most Americans have never heard of. It is, once you discover it, you find that it's just, as I said, it's in every state in the country and several foreign countries as well. It's been around since the time of George Washington. George and Martha Washington contra danced. It sort of focused in New England, but now it's branched out to the whole country.
So what is the difference in doing that, in looking at that video clip? It kind of looks like square dancing.
Oh, well, that's very true. Square dancing has many of the same figures. Square dancing and contra dancing are very much linked. Contra dancing actually comes from English country dancing, which people still do in England, and we do actually. In addition to contra dancing, we have an English dance every second Saturday. And English dancing is what you'd see like in a Jane Austen movie. Jane Austen is always talking about dancing and going to balls in her books. And so it came to America with the English, and it evolved into a more sort of robust Americanized version. English dancing is a little more formal and elegant, different type of music. And then I think contra dancing also was influenced by French squares. So it all sort of merged together, and it's influenced by things from Quebec as well, and the South. I mean, it's integrated into what we now know as contra dancing, which is what you see on that screen.
You don't have to go to a contra dance and have a partner.
No,
No.
absolutely not. No. In fact, I mean, I come with my wife, and sometimes, if she has a meeting, I have a meeting, we don't come together. We dance maybe one dance in the evening together. The idea is to dance with all the different partners. And of various ages, as you were saying. I mean, it really works for anyone from about age 7 to, we have people in their 80s who dance.
People from 7 to 80.
Absolutely.
And that must be difficult, though. I mean, you've got such a wide range of people in different abilities. Isn't that hard to dance with all kinds of people?
Gabriel, let you speak.
Well, I think a lot of it is just communicating your comfort level and what people want to do. I know I've been to some contra dances, and sometimes you see people where they'll have something saying like, dance gently with me if someone doesn't want to be swung, if they get swung quickly, if they get dizzy. Generally, I find most people are pretty good at communicating their comfort level, and then also, it's easy enough that if someone kind of loses their way in the dance to kind of redirect them back into the flow of the dance. But yeah, I think what's nice about it is it's a very inclusive community, and there's a lot of emphasis on making sure everyone is having fun and everyone is comfortable, which means there's communication about what that means for each individual.
How did you find out about it?
I had a couple friends in college who contra danced, and I was not involved in college, but after I graduated and the summer before going to grad school, I was kind of sitting at home, and I didn't have much to do because I couldn't get a job at home with my parents because I was moving here. So I thought, why not? I'll check out a local contra dance, and I can be kind of socially anxious, so I was like, this will be good practice to go out and meet people and put myself out there. So yeah, I went to my local one, which is the dance in Concord, Massachusetts, and I tried it, and I absolutely loved it.
What did you love about it?
Well, it's just so much fun and exhilarating. I don't know, something about it just always makes me laugh. And I know I can be a perfectionist, being both a musician and a dancer, that it's very easy with the whole ballet mentality to be like, oh no, this was not perfect, and this was not ideal. But there's a lot of openness and relaxation in it, and I had a lot of people that whenever I would be like,
How is it relaxing when you're doing all these moves?
Oh, well, because they're fun and they're simple, and everyone's doing them not necessarily to make it this perfect art form, but rather to like enjoy each other and each other's company. Yeah, it's a very like joyful process of doing it, and it's something where I had a couple people tell me that they were like, oh, don't say you're sorry because like you can't be incorrect in it.
You can't be incorrect?
Yeah, they were like, it's okay.
When you're doing the tango or the merengue or all those dances, there's steps and all that, but and you mess up, you
if you mess up, like maybe you'll get off by a couple beats or something, but I mean, it's very easily fixed. And I think generally, all the communities I've been a part of with Contra, including this one, whenever someone messes up, it isn't a thing that's shameful. Often just, people laugh and we just move on.
Exactly.
Which I think is a great life lesson in general, because it's so easy to get caught up in the details and not just be like, all right, it happened, and now here's the next thing.
Sounds very social.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and I mean, our group, I mean, we do socialize together. People, little subgroups of people, have parties together. I mean, I've been in this group so long, and we all started out over 30 years ago, and the group has been around almost 40 years. I didn't start at the beginning, but mostly of us were single, and over the years, we've watched each other get married and have children, and in some cases, I guess, grandchildren. So and we've stuck together. I mean, like, there's a group of people who got together when my son is now 28, and there was a group of women who had babies, and they were home, and they got together once a week to have lunch together. And that group still gets together for New Year's Eve, say.
How did you get involved? How did you start?
Well, I was single, as I said. I was living in Princeton. I was just trying to meet people, and I just randomly heard from someone, oh, I think there's a dance up at the Harlingen Church, which is where we were dancing at the time. And I said, well, I'll give that a try. And I went up there, and I met a woman in the parking lot, parking my car. And she said, are you new? That's the thing. We sort of know who's new because we come every week. And I said, yeah. And she said, oh, I'll do the first dance with you. It's like, wow, this is just so friendly. And I was hooked, like the first dance. It's like, I think it either works or it doesn't work for you. Once you discover it, you think, oh my God, how could I not have known about this? You know, I mean, I was, whatever, I was 30 years old, and I wasted 30 years not dancing.
Were you a dancer? You hadn't danced before?
No, I mean, what's dancing? I mean, I danced, freestyle dancing like anyone from the 60s and 70s would do, but that's not, that's because I don't really dance. But this is, as I said, this is so accessible and it's so accepting. Like, I will dance with a beginner, and they'll say, well, I'm a beginner, I'm going to make mistakes. I said, that's okay, I still make mistakes. I mean, that's just part of it. It's
so
like,
there are basic steps then, or?
Yeah, we actually have a beginner workshop before each dance. Our dance starts at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday and on a Saturday.
This is every Wednesday and Saturday here in Princeton?
Well, no, the Saturdays is only fourth Saturday,
Okay.
and then the second Saturday is the English dancing. But so at 7:30 to 8, there's a beginner workshop that's led by the caller. And all our dances are called. That's the other thing that makes this accessible. You don't have to think about what you're doing, because you have to think a little bit. But the caller is telling you what to do. It's a very programmed dance. It's like, now we're going to circle. Now we're going to do that Allemand. Now we're going to do a balance and swing. And then the music is also telling you what to do. The music, we always have live music, by the way. Every week it's a different band. Always, 3 or 4.
What, I assume there's a fiddler.
Usually, yes, almost
Not
always.
always, but sometimes.
Almost
yeah,
always.
Most times.
Yeah. We have a wide range of instruments. We have, someone on piano, we have mandolins, we have flutes, and of course,
Banjos, yeah.
yeah,
Banjos.
anything, absolutely. I mean, we have a big Halloween dance every year where we have a band that gets together. Anyone who wants to join, any ability, any instrument. We've had didgeridoos.
Didgeridoos.
We've had French horns.
Good Lord.
And of course guitars, obviously, and yeah, electric guitars, yeah, drums, yeah. And the other thing about the music, the thing that you read articles about this. People talk about shared rhythmic activities, and that is part of what makes it so joyful. Is there's like we're all programmed to just want to just sort of do things with other people. And we're sharing the music, we're sharing the movements, and I think that's part of what makes it so fun.
How long did it take till you really got into it, or were you hooked the first night?
I was hooked the first night, absolutely.
Were you hooked the first night?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it generally that case for most people that they're hooked the first night, or they have to come a few nights to try it?
Well, there's some people who, you know what? I think it's a little easier the younger you are. Like, you can just think. I mean, I've just seen that with our, over the years. Young people pick it up faster. So, and there is an issue sometimes if you haven't danced, but you can get a little dizzy. But
A lot of swinging around.
the swing, but you get used to it. That's what I would tell beginners. Oh, I'm so dizzy. And there was this one woman who's now one of our regular dancers. I just went away to a whole weekend of dancing up in Saratoga Springs.
Sounds like it's in good physical exercise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she the first time she danced, she said, "Oh, I'm so dizzy. I'm not sure I want to do this again." And I think I spoke to her, and other people said, "I'll give it a chance. Come back next week." And she came back the second week. I'm still dizzy. I'm not sure I'm going to do this. And it was my wife who said, try it again. And she came back the third week, never dizzy again.
Really?
And she's just dancing up a storm.
We recently went to one of the dances here in Princeton and talked to some of the people.
So I have a friend who dances, or at least he used to dance, and he brought me here for the first time in March. And I got really interested in it, although my friend never came back. So, it took off for me really well.
Why did you get interested in it?
I really love the people. It's a great group. You get to know everybody because you dance with almost every other person, or at least with the other men in the course of the night. It's excellent exercise.
Well, I was looking for an interesting activity to do over the holidays and found Contra dancing in the newspaper. called them up and came and loved it.
What do you love about it?
It combines a lot of elements. So you have the social aspect, you get to know people, it becomes a community. You also get exercise, and it's just fun.
How did you get involved in this?
My wife brought me here today, and we were doing Contra dancing at my son's wedding about 3 years ago. And so since we just live around the corner, my wife said, let's go ahead and try it. So she was here a couple times, so she brought me along tonight.
You look like you're having a really good time.
Having a blast. It's a lot of fun. They tell you what to do. There's a lot of talented people who tell you what to do, and so it's really enjoyable. It's a great way to burn energy and laugh a lot and have fun.
What's your reaction to that? They seem to back up what you said from watching the people that I talked to.
Oh, that's just about how fun it is.
About
and
how much fun it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as I said, if it works for you, you won't be able to stay away. Seriously.
Yeah.
We also talked to some other people while on our visit to the Princeton Country Dancers.
One of my housemates, who used to be a regular here, he introduced me to Contra 5 years ago, and ever since then, I come here every single Wednesday.
Why do you like it?
I think it's very relaxing. It's almost better than meditation, because at the end of Contra, you're mentally relaxed, physically tired, just the perfect state to go home and get good sleep. I think that's amazing. And 5 years, every single week I have the same feeling. I'm so happy at the end of the dance, mentally super relaxed, and just the right amount of tiredness to put me to sleep.
Do they have Contra dancing in India?
No, definitely no. I mean, it's more of a New England thing. Yeah, it's more of a New England thing. I mean, my sister who visited from England, she enjoyed too, but I don't think there's much of Contra in UK, actually. She really enjoyed. She was here a few years ago, and she really enjoyed. It's amazing people, very friendly, and what more can you ask?
Do you think people in India or England would enjoy this?
I think definitely they would. I think there are other forms of dances in India, which are again social. They are done during the different holidays. Something called during Dashera. They use dandiya. They actually take a pair of sticks and they dance with the sticks. It's a lot of fun as well. It's very.
I noticed you were dancing with a little girl, and it looked like you were really having fun teaching her how to do that.
Yes. I think when I was new, I mean, a lot of people had patience and they taught me. I think it's just a tradition to pass it on. Whenever there are new people who come, we try to be friendly and teach them and encourage them to come week after week. And this is one thing where you'll see people from different generations mingling. You have a 5-year-old girl to senior citizens. I mean, I don't see any other event or occasion where people from different generations come together and have so much fun.
Do you do other kind of dancing?
Not really. I'm not a good dancer, but this is something I got used to, and I think I'm pretty good at it now. Yeah, after 5 years, I can say that.
So you've been doing this for 5 years.
5 years this May, yep. And every single week, I can count number of weeks on my hand I might have missed.
I've been dancing for probably 12 years now. I started in a then girlfriend invited me sort of on a whim, and I came and I loved it, and I've been dancing ever since. First in San Diego, Philadelphia, now in Princeton.
Is the same girlfriend around doing it?
No, but she's still contra dancing.
So she brought you in and she's gone, but you're still doing it.
Absolutely. In fact, contra dancing is where I met my current partner. So we have a dancing has been a big part of my life.
Why is that?
I think because it's such a wide cross-section of the community, you meet people from all walks of life you normally wouldn't, see and get to know. And it's really, the people here are family, almost automatically. Anywhere I go in the country, there's a contra dance. It's sort of a collection of people who I feel close to immediately because we have this shared folk tradition, which I think is fairly rare. And so we're sort of automatically insiders with each other.
Up until tonight, I had never heard of contra dancing. Why is it that it seems to be a hidden thing, a hidden gem?
That's a great question. I think part of it is there's an attitude in general that music is for musicians and dancing is for performers and an audience is there to watch. But the beautiful thing about contra dancing is that there's no line between performers and audience. We're all dancing with each other, for each other. a lot of dancers are musicians, a lot of musicians are dancers, and I think that this is something that takes some courage to do, to get out there and sort of dance in full light with a color. And I wish it would catch on more. I hope it's something that becomes more popular. I think events like yours are a way to show the community that there is this great little dance going on every week, and I hope it inspires people to come join us.
It's like my date. Every Wednesday I have to come here. Otherwise I feel like, life is stopped.
Why is it that important to you that you feel that?
I would say I have a very big reason, because I couldn't work for 10 years, more than 10 years, because my certain medical issue. But instead of go to doctors, I choose this. This is a better way to improve myself and make friends, make me happier.
It seems spiritual to people. Do you get that feeling, each of you?
Yeah, I think in some ways, yeah.
I was surprised at how everybody just really seemed to have a great time, but beyond just dancing and good exercise. I was just blown away by the idea of how people thought it was so important in their lives.
Well, I think, as I said, I think it's partly the music that just pulls you together. You're sharing this music, you're sharing this joy. As Avery said, you go down the line and you can't help but smile. Sometimes you're laughing. It's just, it is, in a sense, sort of spiritual.
You stressed earlier that it's the Princeton Country Dancers and Contra dancing is just part of the Princeton Country Dancers. Can you explain that?
Sure. Contra dancing is our major focus. As I said, we have 5 dances a month with contra dancing, but we do have one dance a month. It focuses just on English country dancing, which I encourage people to try as well. It's my second favorite form of dancing.
Is it similar to Contra then?
Yes, as I said,
it's got elements in it.
Contra derived from English. Mm-hmm. So you can see in some dances, you can see the actual derivation, and the changes that happened. So I would recommend that to people as well. We also have sort of subgroups that do what's called ritual dancing, which is a little more esoteric. But we have a family dance, which only happens about 5 or 6 times a year. It's on a Sunday afternoon, and that works for 3-year-olds and up.
3-year-olds?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
How many people do you get doing that? How many children?
We got quite a few people, because parents come and grandparents come and older siblings come as well. So you get, we have 30 or 40 people sometimes at those dances. And I should also mention that, as I said, we have live music every week, but we also have once a month, we have a pickup band. And our pickup band, as I described our Halloween dance with all the different instruments, and we have usually 20 people show up for our pickup bands. And we are open to anyone, any ability, any instrument. We provide the music, and if you're just a beginner, you don't have to get a mic, but we encourage people to come out for that. And at the family dance, it's always a pickup band.
When you say a pickup band, you mean just anybody can just join the band?
Absolutely.
All the musicians come and whatever instrument, they just go together.
Yep, exactly.
That sounds like it could be discordant notes.
Well, again, it's like the dancing. People make mistakes. We're accepting. It's okay. As I said, we're not going to give the beginner the mic, and the beginner's probably not going to want a mic. But when I play in the band, I actually play in pickup band, and I actually play in a separate band with 3 other people.
What instrument do you play?
I play piano and I play recorder.
Oh, really?
When I started playing recorder with pickup band, our pieces go pretty fast, and they're like, 8 notes in a measure. I played 1 note to start. I played the first note, and then I moved on to playing 2, and then it became 4.
Now I play the kazoo. Could I join your pickup band?
We have had, I'm not sure for every tune, but we have had the kazoos have shown up. Slide whistles have shown up. Not for every tune, just as a kind of spark.
I read in researching the show that there's only one state in the country that doesn't have contra dancing, South Dakota.
And what happened? We'll have to get out there and do something.
I was surprised.
I'm surprised too, because there's dancing in Alaska. There's Hawaii.
Yeah, they said 49 states, but not South Dakota.
Well, that's not a very populated state.
Even so, you still have some people out there. I also read, I thought this was interesting, that Henry Ford was really into country dancing.
Yes.
And he wanted to get a caller or somebody to start it from an inn in Massachusetts, and he was under contract. He wanted to bring him the dancing out to Michigan, and this gentleman was under contract, so he bought the inn, and then that this man had a contract with, and so that he could bring the man out to Michigan to start it. So Henry Ford, from Ford, started Ford Motor Company. So a lot of people apparently knew about it, but I'm surprised. I think I'm well read, but I'm surprised I'd never heard of it. And I'm into dancing. I do a lot of types of dancing.
Well, it seems to be a well-kept secret, but we'd like to let the world know about it. And the other thing I want to say about beginners, there's so many times I will try to encourage friends, acquaintances to try it, and they say, "Oh no, I'm not a dancer. Oh, I've got 2 left feet." I say, "You're the one. That's it. Then this is for you. If you were not a dancer and you got 2 left feet, try contra dancing." My wife always says that contra dancing is dancing for the people. 95% of people can do this.
Now, what about people who do a lot of dancing? Would they be interested in this or not? People who do ballroom dancing, people who do rock and roll, people, do all that. You think they would find an interest here too?
Ask the ballet dancer.
Yeah, I mean, I think I find it to be delightful. I mean, it's such when you think about how structured so many of those dances can be, it's such a release to be able to dance and interact with people in a way that isn't, so individualistic and perfectionistic. And I know, where was I going with this thought?
Well, it's just as well because we unfortunately are running out of time. And I'd like to thank both of you for coming here to let us know about the Princeton Country Dancers and contra dancing.
One other quick point.
Sure.
For people who want to try this out, your first dance is free, your second dance is free. Not a lot to lose.
Yeah,
come try
zero
it.
risk.
Is it expensive after that?
We charge $10 on a Wednesday, $11 on a Saturday. We have a reduced rate, anywhere between 5 and 10 or 11. Pay what you want. $5 for students, limited income, you can pay $5, $6, $7, whatever you can afford.
Thank you very much for being here. I'm Steve Guggenheim, and this is Contra Dancing with the Princeton Country Dancers.
All the ladies go.